Continuing our post-race media availability for the GEICO 500, we've now been joined by our race-winning crew chief, Greg Ives, with the number 88 nationwide team. Greg, it was 2013 this weekend at Talladega that you won your first win as a crew chief with Regan Smith. You went on to win the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship last year with Chase Elliott, and now 10 races into the 2015 season, you have now won your first race as a Cup crew chief. So just talk about that transition a little bit and what it means to come home with the win today.
Well, I'm glad, somebody keep track of all those stats because it's it goes out of my mind pretty quickly, but it means a lot, when you're working for an organization like Hendrick Motorsports and to have the support and the backing of Mr. Hendrick, it has to mean a lot because if it doesn't, you're not thankful for your position and for your job. So whether it was crew chief, whether it was sweeping floors, I'll work any day for that man, and so it means a lot to me.
And just talk a little bit about officially being locked into the chase. What does that mean to the team? You can always say it's a relief, but it's when you win a race, you can't fall back on the laurels of that win. I'm not going to be satisfied with just one win and kind of locking ourselves in. We got to go into this summer season strong with a lot of momentum and preparing for that chase now. So it's just one of those things that we're just going to keep on pushing. Yes, it's great that we have this win, but, we got to step up our program on the short tracks and try to get a win there and also, continue what we've been building on intermediate-wise. So we feel like we've been very good there. We got a little bit of work to do, but definitely we got to be all around so that when we get to the chase, we're contenders. Right. We'll go ahead and take questions for Greg. If you have one, please state your name and affiliation, and we'll start with Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Greg, was there a chance you weren't going to be here today for the race? Was there a story going around about that?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my daughter. She's being discharged from the hospital right now. She had a very significant break to her right arm, so right above her elbow, and had to get 3 pins last night. So Dale offered to fly me home, and that would be okay if I missed the race. And I talked to my daughter at length about it. She's my biggest fan, but biggest critic as well. So I asked her if she wanted me to come home, and she said no, that, it's my job to go out there and try to win the race, and that's the only thing that's going to satisfy her. So, like I said, she, after Richmond, when we didn't perform as well as we did, she told me that I need to give Dale better race cars because he can't win with one like that. So she's pretty tough on me for an 8-year-old, but that's good. That's what we need. We need self-assurance that we're doing the right thing, but at times we also need a kick in the butt.
All right, we'll go to Stan. Go ahead, Stan.
Greg, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Final lap. What was your physical and mental condition over the final lap?
Probably the same as lap one. I try to stay as even keel as possible. Try not to get too high, not too low, and sometimes that hurts us. If Dale's one way or the other, I try to be that opposite of him at that point. He's like me. He likes to operate at a very steady, even keel, and when he gets excited, I got to calm him down. When he's kind of down, I got to pick him back up. So, I knew he was getting in good hands as far as the position that he put himself in. TJ was giving him good direction, so I had no worry, honestly. That we're going to pull it off as long as we came off of turn 2 where we needed to be. And, with all the wrecking and all that stuff going on, it got some excitement as far as if they're going to throw the caution, and NASCAR did a great job of making sure that we competed all the way to the end. It's unfortunate that cars got wrecked at the end, but, if they were out of harm's way, if the drivers in the car were all right, that's what they needed to do. And, if that would have meant that we got beat, then we got beat. So, like I said, we just try to stay as level as possible. And, there's excitement inside me. There's excitement that we got this win, but we also I was pretty happy.
All right, we'll go to Jordan.
Greg, you're right. Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. Dale has spoken a few times this season about how winning last year at the Daytona 500 allowed Steve to be more aggressive on pit road, and it paid off because they were able to get some wins, at Pocono and Pocono along the way. And he kind of missed that, it sounded like. Are you thinking about that at all, or how is that going to change your mindset at the top of the pit box going forward?
Well, if you look back at Vegas, I knew it was going to be tough trying to beat the 4 car, and the only way we could do that is if I put a special match set of right sides on and just took the 7 seconds that I got back from running 4, instead of putting on 4 to try to pad that lead a little bit. And, we weren't able to get it done. We came back and, only finished like 4th or 5th. I don't know. It didn't work out, right? So I think I've been trying to be aggressive as I could. When we had the incidents at Phoenix and Martinsville where, we finished 43rd and 36th, I probably remember those ones more than I remember our good runs. But I knew that I had to take somewhat a different approach. You had to kind of points race a little bit. You had to try to maintain, your top 10, top 5, top 10 runs, and you couldn't take the risk of, the 2 tires or fuel only or doing something different. Now that gives me that opportunity to go back to what we try to start at the beginning of the year, and just those little bit of bad runs kind of hurt that mentality. And we're going to adjust. We're going to do what we need to do to try to win more. And hopefully that's with fast race cars, and you don't even have to worry about strategy at that point. You just go out there and wax them.
All right, we'll go to Don. Right there, right behind you. Perfect.
Hi, Greg. Don Coble with Morris News Service. Can you describe what it felt like? I mean, I know television said that you were very emotional when the race was, but also your reaction to their reaction in the grandstand. I mean, the way the whole place reacted to this win.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing to do is lead all practices, however that may be. Qualify on the pole and win the race here, because that's the support we get here. That's the support from the fans, and that's when you have 43 race cars going by and you still hear the crowd cheering and you can see them jumping up in the stands. That puts a chill around you. And as far as being emotional, yeah, of course, it's my first win as a Cup crew chief. First win, thinking about things that are more than just race cars, whether it's my daughter, whether it's my mom, all those sorts of things. That's gonna weigh on you. You work hard to get to a point to be in victory lane, no matter where it is, what it is, and that all gathers up in one lap or one race. You're going to have that. So I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel great about where this race team's going, and obviously I haven't cried yet, so that's good. But I definitely was emotional about it. Happy about it, and like I said, just thinking about my daughter with a broken arm, and her being tough enough to not want her daddy. That's pretty cool.
All right, we'll continue to take questions for Greg. We'll go to Bob next.
Bob Pocker, CSPN. How did she break her arm, and can you kind of talk about maybe the helplessness feeling you've probably felt the last 24 hours? She's being a kid. She was playing, she's having fun, playing with her friends, and I fell out of plenty of trees, and I actually broke my wrist, and she fell out of a swing set, and just landed awkwardly, and she didn't really recall everything, and I haven't really got to talk to her about it, so I just know she broke it, and like I said, she didn't cry one bit. I asked my wife. I talked to her. I thought she'd start bawling, and she didn't. She said it hurt, but she wasn't going to cry about it. But what was your second question? Oh yeah, I mean, I talked to somebody this morning as like, every time I feel like I'm helpless being on the road or away from my family, I think all those military folks, men, women, children, all those families that are affected by, things that are out of our control, and those military families who, sacrifice their time, whether it's a month, 6 months, or years away from their families, so we can do something like this. That helplessness only makes me show more appreciation for what we get to do every weekend, what we get to do as a great nation, and
how appreciative we need to be for them.
Additional questions for Greg? Okay, we're going to go upstairs for a question.
Lee Spencer, motorsport.com. You being at Hendrick Motorsports, you kind of understand the popularity of the 88 car and everything, but could you have anticipated the type of pressure that came along, particularly on the bad days, that where you guys have struggled this year, and just kind of the outpouring from Junior Nation, and how have you dealt with that?
As far as pressure goes, I think of it as opportunity to improve. That's how this team looks at it right now. We look at the pressure, or what Junior Nation says on our bad day is not anything worse than what my daughter will tell me when I get home. So I got to use that as fuel. I can't. They're going to have great things to say, and they're going to have bad things to say. And the honesty is what I want. I don't care about fluff and buff. I want honesty. I want the truth. And I want to know where we're going to get better, because that's the only way this team is going to be in competition when it comes down to Homestead, and that's the only way we're going to grow. So honesty, that's what I want.
Additional questions for Greg? Okay. Here comes the microphone. It's coming right behind you.
Greg, I'm Ken Rogers, right for the Dothan Eagle. Back to the helpless part, how big was your concern level when those gauges start, the temperatures were going crazy, it showed on TV?
I think Dale had some more heightened concern than I did. I wasn't doing anything about it. We saw, races last year where people tried to get the debris off and hurt their chances of getting a win, and I was not going to have that happen. I'd rather leave here 35th and give up an opportunity to win just for a little bit of debris. And Hendrick Motorsports builds great engines, great drive lines, great chassis, great bodies, and I rely on them every time I show up at the racetrack. And I wasn't getting a thumbs up from Scotty Maxim, but he's pretty honest when we need to do something about it. And I probably wouldn't listen anyways.
All right, we'll go to Kenny. Microphone to Kenny. Here it comes.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com again. Greg, when you look back on the day, did you learn anything about the team or about Dale today that maybe, I don't want to say you didn't know, but maybe it reinforced?
Well, there's a lot of things when you're new to the team coming in, and whether it's the pit crew or the road guys or Dale himself and TJ, you always have that feeling out scenario, and this kind of just helps that scenario or that session kind of get by a little bit quicker. But the decision to pit or be the first one to pit road under green at lap, I think it was 154 or 155. Was a decision made by not just myself, but through a conversation that I had with my engineers. We were talking about wanting to be the first ones on pit road. We didn't want to get caught with a yellow out and somebody else being able to leapfrog us. And, over 20, 30 laps, we were going through different scenarios, how much fuel we need, when we're going to pit, how that was going to dictate where we're going to line up, whether we would go a lap down if we didn't get enough cars with us. And, to be honest with you, it was, that conversation that helped us come to pit road. We didn't hear a lot of people chattering about coming at lap 154, 155. And, we started a conversation amongst ourselves, talked with our teammates on the 48 with Chad and Jimmy, and, we knew we had at least one. And, right there, that's telling me that, I need to have confidence in my team. Not that I didn't before, but we need to have those conversations. And if we do, we're going to be better collectively and go on to, potentially win races.
All right, we'll go to Stan for another question, please.
Stan Creekmore again with RPMtonight.com. At what point prior to the start of this race did you start feeling that victory was yours and your team's to grab?
Like here or anywhere. Here. When it got put on the schedule, that's what I'm thinking. No matter like any race put on the schedule, we need to win at. So that's my mentality. So, but I feel like when this started, not just yesterday, not Friday morning, not even Thursday. This started when we had that victory at Daytona in the 150s. That gave a confidence boost for Steve Berg, who heads up our Speedway program, that we're on the right path and right direction. And he always does a great job with the cars, but as hard as I am on myself, he's just as hard as on himself. And perfection is what we want. And when we left qualifying yesterday and we were fourth, we were not happy about it. And we weren't looking for excuses on why. We were looking for reasons to be better next time. And it felt like we were going to have a solid car, but like I said, the feeling that we could be victorious here didn't start on Friday or Thursday. It started when we got that first win at Daytona.
All right. Any final questions for Greg? Any final questions upstairs? All right. Well, Greg, congratulations on your victory today. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks all.